Good evening. On behalf of the governing body of the City of Passaic, we welcome you to the August 5th, 2025 City Council meeting. In accordance with Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by resolution of the Municipal Council adopted on June 17th, 2025, setting forth the schedule of meetings for the year 2025-2026. Said notice was published and posted on the City Hall Bulletin Board by the Office of the City Clerk. Please be further advised this meeting will be conducted in person. The Zoom stream provided is for viewing only and is offered to the public as a convenience. On July 18th, 2025, public notice and Zoom instructions for this meeting were published in the Herald News and posted on the City of Passaic website at www.cityofpassaic.com. Council agendas. Instructions are also available on the last page of this agenda. Please be guided accordingly.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Love,
Present.
Present.
Councilman Mayor,
Present.
Councilman Garcia,
Councilman Garcia, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can, Councilman. Thank you for being on the
Present.
on this call.
and Council President Scheer.
President, shall we all please rise?
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight and ask you to please guide us in the decision that will take place this evening. We have the agenda that has been set before us, and we ask you to please guide us with wisdom as we make decisions tonight. We also put up a special prayer, Lord, for National Night Out, Lord. Let it be a night of joy and enjoyment for the family that are attending tonight's event. In your beloved name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the
The
flag.
flag of the United States of America and the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, members of the council, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us at tonight's important meeting. We are flattered that so many of you are here tonight. We appreciate your interest in this great city of ours. If you do not have a copy of the agenda, it is available to you on the internet at www.passaic.com. The agendas are also available immediately outside these doors. If you do assess us on the internet, you will find that all of the material which has been given to the council by the administration is available for you to see. That includes resolutions, ordinances, bills, etc. All of that is available to you. Tonight, we know we have several items on the agenda which are of concern and interest to many people here. And we appreciate the opportunity to deal with those issues. Let me share with you what we would like to do, which I think will hopefully facilitate the meeting. I'm told that a large number of people are here on behalf of an ordinance regarding rent stabilization. The council will hold its regular portion of the meeting in terms of the next item on the agenda being the mayor's update, which we look forward to as always, Mr. Mayor. Followed by that, the council will have the opportunity to vote in favor or oppose to ratify the minutes of March 4, March 18, and April 1 of the City Council. Following, the council will have the opportunity to address two issues. The first is an ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by New Jersey license plate number. The second is an ordinance adopting Chapter 231 rent stabilization. On the rent stabilization ordinance, as well as the ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking. In both cases, the public is welcome to address the council at its leisure and pleasure. There is no time limit. We ask you to be on the ordinance, and if you are not on the ordinance, I will cut you off and respectfully ask that you get to the ordinance. After that is done, the council will have the opportunity to proceed with the proposed ordinance. If the ordinance for second and final reading is not accepted by the council, the default, the council will immediately go to discussion of item number 44. And item number 44 is a proposed version in response to the initiative petition listed as item number 44 on the agenda. After conclusion of action on number 44, at that time, we will then go to the regular agenda, starting with communications, which is Roman numeral 8 on our agenda. We ask you, please, if you have a cell phone, to please put it on vibrate or off. Number one. Number two, this room is known for many things. Its acoustics are not one of them. Your voice will travel. So if you're speaking to the person next to you or behind you, please understand that you're interrupting many other people in terms of their ability to listen and to understand what's going on. Respectfully, if there's an item so pressing that you're facing it that you need to discuss, please be so kind as to come into the council area, the main area of the City Hall, and have your conversations with those people, and then afterwards immediately come back and join us. But we ask you please to respect other people who are trying to talk or trying to listen. We are very excited about tonight's meeting. There are so many things that we can do or say. In terms of the ordinance for response on the rent stabilization, there is no time limit. However, there is an opportunity for the hearing of citizens, at which time everyone is invited to speak before the council for up to 3 minutes and 3 minutes. Only 2.5 minutes, the clerk has a bill which will notify that you have another half minute to speak. And Weatherly, is that about it? Did we cover everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at this point, we would like to impose on Mayor Laura. We thank you for being here, sir, as you are always here, and that is a great pleasure. If you would like to share with the community your update.
Thank you, Council President, members of the City Council, and all who are present today. At the beginning of the council meeting, I'm giving the opportunity to give a mayor's update as to what's going on around the city. I wanted to share that we recently concluded our Police Junior Academy with just over 200 participants over the last 3 weeks. And the last week had 7 participants and volunteers. This was the very first time that we have ever had a special needs component in the Junior Police Academy. It is believed that we are the very first city in the state to have created an inclusive component to the Junior Police Academy and our Junior Fire Academy. I want to recognize and acknowledge Police Chief Luis Guzman and our Fire Chief Patrick Trenacos, who are here. It was extremely important, as I discussed with my colleagues in the City Council, that we would be more inclusive in our summer programs and recreation. And we want to thank the volunteers, especially those from the school that assisted us in ensuring that we had support for our children with special needs. Our Fire Academy starts August 11th. And again, I'll reiterate, we will have the participation of children with special needs. This is the very first year that we have done this. We planned it over a year ago, and we're excited about the fact that it has now come to fruition. We've had the grand opening of so many parks, so many initiatives, but we look forward in the next couple of weeks to the grand opening of our parking deck right across the street with over 310 spaces available to the public. I say over 310 because, Council President, we are discussing some of the electric chargers as we look to go green here in the city, and we have quite a number on the first and second levels. I also want to share that our Gregory Avenue restriping will be awarded during this meeting, which will result from Madison Street to Pennington Avenue being restriped. Pennington Ave and Acre Ave intersection traffic light is up and working. Let me reiterate, I think Councilman Love and Councilman Monk will be especially excited about that news, as they brought that up a number of times. The traffic light on Pennington Ave and Acre Ave intersection is up and running. This has been a request from residents. It has been pushed by council members. Just to give a little bit of information and perspective to those who are present, we don't arbitrarily decide to put up traffic lights when requests come up. We have a traffic study done where the police look at how many accidents have occurred on that particular corner. We have the engineer come in, and then we seek out funding. So that's how we get so excited when we are approved with funding as well as justification, or when we have to respond to compelling arguments in order to improve pedestrian and traffic safety. On Howard Ave, our drainage improvement project will be awarded during this meeting. I wanted to share briefly that our Passaic County 2025 resurfacing program will include Broadway, Randolph, Paulison, and Pennington. These are our Passaic County roads. Passaic County roads connect different municipalities like Main Avenue, which connects Clifton, Patterson, Passaic. When you look at streets like Paulison, they connect Clifton and Passaic. I highlight this county resurfacing because we have with us, I believe, our Deputy Director, Passaic County Commissioner Sandy Lazara. Right, Sandy, thank you for being with us. So I wanted to share that with you. All right, I wanted to share some additional parking that has been created just at the end of the spring and throughout the summer, from Chestnut Street to Myrtle Ave, including Gregory Ave, from Exchange Place, Pennington Ave, 4th Street, South Street, Virginia, and Heavenly Street, Main Ave, and Myrtle, High Street, Main Ave, and Paulison, Howe Avenue, Prospect Street, Grove Street, Passaic Street, State Street, Market Street, 6th Street, 8th Street, South Street, Market Street, 11th Street, 3rd Street, South Street, Virginia Street. I share all those just to highlight every single ward, from 1st Ward, 2nd Ward, 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, has had increase and expanded parking. We have included and added an additional 170 new parking spaces in some of our most densely populated areas in the city, simply by restriping, going to angled parking, opening up new parking lots. We're excited as we continue forward with this initiative addressing concerns of parking throughout the city. I wanted to share that our second Family Festival begins this Friday at school number 11. This Friday, our Family Festival, it will last an entire week. It is a tradition that we started a number of years ago, providing more family-friendly activities throughout the city. That begins this Friday. Also, our traditional car show begins on Sunday at 9 a.m. at 3rd Ward Park. So we'll have our Family Festival at our 2nd Ward Park and our car show at our 3rd Ward Park. Our car show was a very special initiative and program led by Mr. Will Smith, a former employee known throughout the city. We have had a memorial bench erected in his honor in 3rd Ward, and we will have the unveiling at the car show. He was a friend and a supporter of all of the council members and someone that we care for dearly. He passed on. I wanted to share that on July 31st, through the work in collaboration with the Assemblyman's office, our Assemblyman of the 36th Legislative District, Assemblyman Gary Scheer, who holds an uncanny resemblance to the Council President of the city of Passaic, we were able to bring motor vehicles to the city, as we have done throughout the last couple of years, to make it more convenient for residents, not just of Passaic, but of the county and throughout the state of New Jersey, to have access to real ID. However, on the 31st, there was a statewide emergency declared because of an incoming storm. Though we ended that a little bit early, we were still able to provide real IDs to everyone that made appointments. We remind the public to visit our City Hall webpage to remain informed, as we like to announce these far in advance to ensure that you have access to these programs and initiatives. I also wanted to share that throughout the city, you will see a brand new approach to pedestrian safety as well as traffic safety in terms of speeding, as we have begun adding speed bumps throughout the city. We added one to Summer Street right before Lexington. There have been a number of streets and requests. These are removable throughout the city, but they are a response to constituents, to residents who have been concerned with the increased speeding that they have seen, not just in Passaic, but throughout the county. I wanted to share with the council members that we have had requests to explore opportunities for zone parking permits around the borders of the city, that the zone parking permits that we have already implemented have drastically reduced the issues of people parking from other municipalities and taking away parking overnight. The latest requests have been by Matamore and Dayton Avenue, which we will refer to our police and our engineer for studies overnight. Today, our Passaic Police Department participated in defensive tactic course in Passaic Police Academy. 15 officers have gone. We are looking at about 80 officers going throughout the sessions. I wanted to share that the brand new rubberized racetrack at Third Ward Memorial Park, as well as the new baseball field and the work in addition to all of that, in collaboration with Passaic County on the culvert and bridge continues, and we are expecting to see that concluded by September going into October. I wanted to share that we had a successful family campout. Council president, members of the city council. This is our third annual family campout. We had hundreds of families that unfortunately, because of lack of resources, don't always get those experiences that others share. Where we held a citywide campout at Third Ward with over hundreds of children that participated. I wanted to thank our recreation department, our police department, our fire department that assisted us with the campfire, our police who kept us safe overnight, and all the families that have participated. Each year it has gotten bigger, and it is our goal to continue to provide even more activities for our families. You know, oftentimes, and we have discussed this, that when September comes around, the teachers ask the children, what have you done in the summer? Some children, perhaps in other areas, and some more fortunate, even in our areas, draw pictures of traveling, maybe going to Disney World or going to their family's countries, but not every child has that opportunity. The reason that we do family festivals, campouts, and so many activities like the ones that we're having outside right now, National Night Out, is to ensure that every child has an opportunity to experience a wonderful summer to the best of our abilities. Obviously, we wish they can do so much more, but each year we have added so many more activities, and we look forward to working collaboratively with the county and receiving even more funds to ensure that our children, and especially all children, no matter what their background, no matter where their level of ability, can participate in the many programs that we have in recreation. I wanted to share that we had a successful Peruvian Independence Day with 2 Peruvian parades. Council President, they went back to back out of the city without incident. We were very excited to work collaboratively and ensure that things ran smoothly, and that we continue to celebrate and acknowledge the wonderful diversity of this amazing city. We also had the Puerto Rican flag raising that was held here at City Hall. I wanted to share that our bike patrol continues to be a success around our city. As many know, we have an SRO program, School Resource Officer Program. And in the summer, many of the officers that aren't in the schools now go out into the streets. We have been emphasizing community policing and greater relationships. Officers on bikes are there to direct, to assist, to facilitate processes for our community. And again, I want to highlight the amazing efforts of our officers to ensure that we maintain appropriate and good relationships with every resident, that they would know that they are welcome and that we are here to support and assist them. The stadium at our Boverini Stadium has been completed. Activities have begun for this summer. We recently had a soccer tournament, and we're excited about the continued efforts. Next week, we will have the summer graduation for the high school students that continued their education. The ceremony will take place in one of the additional schools to be announced, and we will be sharing all of their accomplishments. With that said, Council President, I wanted to add just one more thing. I had a special meeting, Council President, members of the City Council, on an initiative that I've been working on in the last few years with an organization called Thrive. As you know, we've had many parents concerned about adults with special needs, adults with autism, and the fear of them falling off the cliff, as it's often referred to, when they age out of the system and programs. One of the concerns that we have discussed is what happens to them. Is there housing available? There's an organization named Thrive, again, that in Red Bank, they are pursuing funding to create a development that provides affordable housing for neurodivergent individuals and those who are often referred to as people with special abilities. And they are presently pursuing 32 units, 5 of them set aside affordable, but all of them for individual adults with special needs. There's a similar program in Phoenix, Arizona. I was able to have a Zoom meeting with them, with Joyce Hunt from our community development. We recently learned that the division of families with disabilities in the state, as of right now, has only utilized 50% of the funding that was set aside for families. There is a lot of funding available, and we are looking to further explore the potential of incentivizing or pushing forward through the city a development that will address these concerns for families in the future. At one time, decades ago, the state of New Jersey was identified as having the highest rate of children born on the spectrum than any other state in the United States of America. This was decades ago. So obviously it begs the question today, what happens to them as they are adults? Where are they working? How are they transported around the city? How are we addressing their concerns? And I want to thank the council. I want to thank the staff at City Hall for your efforts in ensuring that we continue to explore and meet or address the needs, not just of today, but of tomorrow. I will update the council at our next meeting on further developments. With that said, Council President, that is my report. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Thank you, Mayor. As usual, thank you for that amazing summary of all the many initiatives that are going on. I was fascinated. Your last comments corresponded precisely to your first initial comments in terms of special needs, and the city's dedication through your initiative of becoming inclusive in so many ways, in so many areas is refreshing. Any questions for the mayor? Seeing none, if we could go to Roman numeral 5 of our agenda, please. Approval of our minutes from March 4, March 18, and April 1. Are there any changes, modifications that need to be done to the minutes to make them appropriate and accessible? Seeing no lights at this time, is there a motion, please, to accept the minutes of March 4, March 18, and April 1?
So moved, Council President.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please, on the minutes.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman
Yes.
Love, Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez, and Council President Scher.
Yes, the motion is passed. We're up to Roman numeral 7 on our agenda. Ordinances for second and final reading. Hearing is required. Number 1, proposed ordinance 2491-25, an ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by New Jersey license plate number. Is there a motion, please, to open public hearing?
Move it.
Motion
Second.
and second. Roll call, please, to open public hearing.
Councilman Monk, Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez, Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, the council is contemplating proposed ordinance 2491-25, which amends the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons for New Jersey license plate number. Is there anyone who would like to address the council on this item and this item only? Is there a motion, please, to accept?
Yes.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
yes,
and Council President Scher.
Yes, that opens the hearing up.
Close.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, is there anyone who would like to address the council on this item and this item only? Seeing no hands, is there a motion, please, to accept?
Move it.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
yes,
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Is there a maker of the motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please, to move the ordinance.
Councilman Monk,
Just for clarity, I'm sorry, which ordinance is it?
number 1.
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
yes,
and Council President Scher.
Yes, the ordinance passes. Next, please, proposed ordinance, Chapter 231, rent stabilization. Is there a motion, please, to open public hearing?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and second. Roll call, please, to open public hearing.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the council will be hearing testimony on adopting Chapter 231, rent stabilization. We invite anyone to address the council who would like to, but we remind you that you must be speaking on the ordinance and only on the ordinance. Is there anyone who would like to address the council, please? Yes, sir. By law, we do not require your address, but we do ask you for your name for the record.
And my address too?
No, we don't need your address, sir, just your.
Mitchell Kahn, Vice President and Director of Organizing, New Jersey Tenants Organization. I would like to urge the council to support the amendment to the ordinance. Well, let me preface my remarks by saying one of the things that I've done, I've been with the New Jersey Tenants Organization for more than 50 years, and I've probably had my hand in the establishment of probably 3/4 of the 123 rent control ordinances that exist in the state. And I think you've had an experience up and down with rent control. And I think this amendment is long overdue. It's justified. Most of the tenants in this room have been paying rent increases double and triple and quadruple and quintuple the inflation rate for many, many years. Totally unjustified situation. I think that this ordinance will rectify that, and I strongly urge you to adopt it. I'm not going to take any more of your time, but I am available to the council if there's any more technical stuff and advice that you need. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The council appreciates your enthusiasm, but we would respectfully ask if we could please limit such expressions. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Antonio Hernandez, and thank you for.
If we could ask you to speak a little bit louder, sir.
No problem. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity for sharing my testimony. My name is Antonio. My name is Antonio Hernandez, and I'm 23 years old, and I am a member of Make the Road, New Jersey. I live in Passaic since I was 5 years old. I moved here. I live with my mom and my 3 siblings, and we're currently paying about $2,000 of rent. Me and mom have to split it so we will be able to afford the rent. But my story isn't unique. Dozens of families in Passaic are facing the same challenges because vacancies have been decontrolled and the rents have gone up inconsistently. I was happy to see that the city had stabilized the rent to 6% at the beginning of the year. I felt recognized. But as we all know, the rent has been all out of whack, and families are being overwhelmed. But after almost 20 years of deregulation, Passaic tenants need stronger protection. I'm here today to ask you to vote yes to stabilize rents at 3% and vacancy control and support efforts to make sure Passaic tenants live with dignity and respect. I have every intention to build my life here in Passaic and stay close to my family. I want to become a teacher for Passaic Public Schools as a science teacher. That's why I joined efforts this year to make Passaic rent and housing more accessible and sustainable. Thank you to the entire council for your consideration, and thank you to all those who joined us today. Have a good night.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Carla, and I'm speaking tonight as a neighbor, an immigrant, and a representative of Lazos America Unida and Fuerza Migrante. I stand before you to raise the voices of thousands of hardworking Mexican families who live, work, and contribute to the city every single day. We are not invisible. Over 20,000 Mexican residents live in Passaic. That's more than 30% of the city's entire population. We are not a minority. We are part of the heart and engine of Passaic. Our families began arriving in the 1970s, working in factories, restaurants, construction. We stayed, built our homes here, raised our children, supported our schools, and contributed to the local economy in every way. But we are also the ones who suffer the most from abusive rent increases. I know families paying $1,600 or more to live in apartments with mold, cockroaches, no heat, and broken plumbing. I know elders and children sharing the same bedroom because the rent is too high. A 6% increase is devastating. A family paying $1,500 would have to pay $90 or more each month. Money that should go to food, medicine, or a Metro card to get to work. A 3% cap gives people a fighting chance. We are not asking for charity. We are asking for fairness. We are demanding the right to live in dignity without fear or being pushed out of our homes. Tonight, you have the power to make a historic decision, to vote for families, not for greedy landlords, to tell this city that yes, it matters who lives here and how they live. On behalf of the Mexican community and all working families, vote yes for the 3% rent cap. Vote for decency, justice, in a city that values its people. Thank you.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Hector Lora. My name is Isela Coyote, and I am a member of Make the Road, New Jersey. I have lived in Passaic for 21 years, and I moved to the United States with my family from Mexico. I am a graduate of Rutgers University, and I commute to work in New Brunswick, but plan to stay in Passaic for the long run and build a family of my own here in Passaic. I've watched firsthand in the last decade how difficult it is for working adults to make rent here in Passaic. I live with my parents and my 3 siblings. It's 6 of us in total in a 3-bedroom apartment. Myself, the second oldest, contributes towards the rent. I love my family, but we couldn't live apart, even if I wanted to. I am grateful when the council passed an ordinance at the beginning of the year, after 3 years of the regulation. But unfortunately, the 6% is still much higher than the 4% rent grew from 2021 to 2023, leaving too many of our families exposed to continue unaffordable housing. I am excited to hear that the council is considering vacancy control tonight, alongside the rent stabilization. Years ago, my family needed to move out of our apartment because the landlord was neglecting and the rental increase was inconsistent. And we wanted to avoid potential of eviction down the line because the rent was so unpredictable. But when we started to look around, we noticed that because of this control, we had to stay in our living situation. That was hostile and ill-suited for us much longer than we would have otherwise. Every Passaic resident has a fundamental right to stay safe, decent, and affordable housing. And the inability to pay one's rent threatens the very essence of what makes Passaic so great. And I am asking you to vote yes tonight to stabilize the rents 3% and to eliminate the vacancy control. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Agradezco a todas las personas que ya están dando la oportunidad de hablar para todos ustedes. Soy Joaquín Hernández, miembro de esta organización que tenemos las camisetas azules. Soy residente, votante de esta ciudad. He vivido en esta ciudad por más de 30 años, la cual he visto a mis hijos nacer y obviamente hasta nietos ya tengo, entonces me gusta estar en esta ciudad. Solamente quiero decirles de que...
Sir, señor, I
Un
would like,
momento, porque hay que traducir lo que usted está diciendo.
Ok.
No todo entiende.
Una disculpa, gracias.
No hay problema.
I would like to introduce Jessina Caquez, who is
the manager in the mayor's department who can assist you in translating for us so we understand what you're saying.
Ella te quiere introducir a Gisenia Caqueas. Ella es una empleada aquí de la ciudad y ella va a traducir.
Muy bien.
Le pido que por favor diga las cosas al paso para darnos oportunidad de traducir.
Muy bien.
I'm asking that he please pace himself so that I am able to translate accurately.
Muy bien. Gracias. Bueno, tengo que apurarme porque se me está pasando el tiempo. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Joaquín Hernández.
Good evening, my name is Joaquín Hernandez.
He vivido acá en la ciudad de Passaic por más de 30 años,
I've lived here in the city of Passaic for more than 30 years.
lo cual me siento muy contento, agradecido
I am very happy and grateful for that,
de vivir en esta ciudad
to live in this city
tan diversa,
so diverse,
donde yo vine a hacer a mis hijos y ahora a mis nietos.
where I came to raise my children and now my grandchildren.
Bueno, en este momento vengo a hablar algo que nos preocupa a las familias de bajos ingresos.
Now I'm here to speak about something that worries us families who are of low resources.
El asunto que me trae a mí y a mis compañeros y los residentes de la ciudad
The issue that brings me here with my colleagues and other peoples from the city
es que venimos a pedir una reducción del aumento de renta.
is that we want a reduction in the increase of rent.
Sabemos que el alcalde Alex Lora y su equipo de trabajo han trabajado en ese proyecto.
We know that the mayor, Hector Laura, has worked on this
Sin
before.
embargo, nosotros, familias trabajadoras, sentimos que no es suficiente.
However, us hardworking families feel that it is not enough.
Entonces, por favor, a nombre de los residentes de la ciudad de Passaic, de todas estas familias que están acá,
So please, in the name of everyone here and all the families in Passaic,
que tomen en consideración nuestra propuesta, nuestro proyecto,
take into consideration our proposal, this project,
porque nosotros de esa manera nos sentiremos un poquito más confortables.
because that way we will be more comfortable.
Muchas gracias por su atención y
Sí.
buenas noches.
Thank you for your attention and good night.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Mariela, soy miembro de la organización Make Road.
María, tiene que hablar un poquito más alto al micrófono.
Bajito.
Para que ella le vaya traduciendo.
Ok,
Y para que escuchar.
Gracias.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Mariela, soy miembro de Make Road, New Jersey, y he vivido en la ciudad de Passaic.
Good evening. My name is Mariela. I am part of the group Make the Road New Jersey, and I've been living in the city of Passaic.
He vivido en la ciudad de Passaic desde el año 95, llevo 29 años acá.
I've been living here since 1995. I've been here for 29 years.
Y en los últimos 15 años vivo en el mismo apartamento,
And in the last 15 years, I've been living in the same apartment
en el edificio 446 de la Monroe Street.
Perdón, repita.
En el
En el 146 de la Monroe,
de la Monroe Street.
146 Monroe Street.
Trabajo con niños de capacidad, de necesidades especiales en la Junta de Educación de Caldwell, New Jersey.
I work with children of special needs. ¿En dónde?
Caldwell.
In Caldwell, New Jersey.
Ujú. El año pasado, el dueño del corporativo de la unidad del edificio donde vivo me sorprendió a mí y a todos los inquilinos con un aumento por más de un 125%.
Last year, I was surprised by the owner of the property where I live with an increase in rent of more than 225%.
En la cual me veía la necesidad, o sea, que no podía pagar esa cantidad de dinero. Mi renta era de $987 y el incremento de aumento era de $2,257.
This was an increase that I could not afford. My rent was $987, and the increase brought it up to $2,257.
Esta es una unidad de 36 apartamentos.
This is a unit of 36 apartments.
Entré en pánico, en nervios, crisis de no podía dormir, ansias al no poder pagar esa renta y tener que verme en la necesidad de ser desalojada
I
o
was,
tener que
I was panicking, I was nervous, I wasn't able to sleep, thinking about needing to pay something like this,
desalojada hasta el extremo de llegar a depresión.
and afraid of being evicted to the point where I developed depression.
Me dirigí a varias entidades, entre esas acá al City Hall. Y no solo yo, sino un grupo que nos reunimos del edificio y llegamos hasta acá y pidiendo ayuda y se nos dijo que no podían hacer nada porque no había control de renta.
I spoke to different agencies, including here City Hall, but I was told that I could not be helped because there was no rent control.
De acá nos dijeron que nos dirigiéramos hacia la corte familiar de Patterson,
Here I was told to go to the family court in Patterson,
en la cual tampoco recibimos ningún apoyo ni ayuda,
where we did not receive any help or support
por la misma razón.
for the same reason.
Lo único es que ellos nos dieron unos teléfonos para que nos comunicáramos con los abogados del Estado,
They just gave us phone numbers to be in contact with the attorneys of the state.
del cual sí recibimos atención, pero ellos nos dijeron que solamente podían darnos asesoramiento, más no representación.
We did get assistance, but we were told that they could only give us guidance, not legal representation.
Ok. Entonces, felizmente nos conectamos por medio de un vecino con la organización Make It Rock y ellos sí nos atendieron.
Through a neighbor, we were connected with the organization Make the Road New Jersey, and they did help us.
Y de esa manera pudimos lograr con su grupo de abogados, porque estos dueños de edificios nos llevaron a la corte. A mí me estaban poniendo una demanda por más de $14,000.
Through their help, I was able to get assistance through their attorneys in a proceeding against the landlord because they were suing me for $14,000.
If you could share, one moment. If you could share with the lady that I need her on the ordinance.
Él necesita que usted platique sobre la ordenanza.
Bueno, o sea, sí tenía que explicar esto porque esta es la razón por la cual yo estoy acá.
I had to explain this because that's the reason that I'm here.
Y entonces, al alcalde y a ustedes los concejales, es una petición de mi parte y de todos los inquilinos de Passaic, de todos los, que por favor pasen la ley de un 3%. De esa manera darán un alivio a muchas familias económicamente, porque son personas de bajos recursos.
And so I want to,
Con los altos
un
costos.
momento, por favor, para recordarme todo. I want to direct myself to the mayor and to the councilman here to please support this petition on behalf of me and on behalf of all the people that are here.
Y proporcionar el control de vacantes, de apartamentos vacantes. o
And to
residencias
please support vacancy control.
vacantes. Gracias por su atención y en nombre mío y de todos los ciudadanos de Passaic, pido a ustedes que consideren y voten a un 3% para aliviar la pena de muchos ciudadanos.
And thank you on my behalf and on behalf of everyone here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natali Caterina Bracamonte Melendez de Noguera. I am actually a Passaic Academy Science and Engineering teacher. I'm also a Passaic High School alumni, and I've been living in Passaic for 15 years, and I am very proud to be here today. I'm here tonight to urge the council to vote yes on the ordinance to stabilize rents at 3% and provide vacancy control. I want to start by saying thank you for considering an ordinance that directly responds to what so many tenants have been saying for years. The rent is raising very fast than our families can keep up. As a teacher, I have witnessed this firsthand. It's been really hard hearing from my own students that talk about having to work extra hours or even miss schools just to help their families get by, and I have many of those. At first, I thought I had to stay in my lane, just focus on my classroom. But when I started noticing students falling behind and not showing up at all so they could work, or when I got to peek into their homes during Zoom meetings during the pandemic to see dripping ceilings and crowded spaces, that's when I knew I had to step up. That's why I became a petitioner, to move the ballot ordinance forward. I feel truly honored and ready to do more. And thank you, Make the Road New Jersey, for making me part of you. Since then, I've seen just how powerful our community can be when we come together. We have collected over 1,400 signatures to push stronger rent stabilization on the ballot. I've watched my members go door to door, make calls, show up to meetings every Wednesday, Tuesday, doing the work with heart and determination. And honestly, it's been both inspiring and emotional. As you can see, I'm a little emotional today because this is not easy. Because it reminds me that when our people are under a lot of pressure, we don't fall apart. We rise, we support each other.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to speak to the ordinance, please.
Passaic took an important first step this year by passing rent stabilization. But a 6% cap is still too high for many working class families, especially as wages stay flat while the cost of living rises across the board. We need to do more to make sure my people can stay in their homes. Voting yes tonight continues what the city marked, making Passaic an affordable, stable place to live. The time to act is now. I ask you to vote yes, sí, because our families, our students, our futures depend on it. Muchísimas gracias y gracias a todos. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Al Tariq Witcher. I am the Managing Director of External Affairs at Fair Share Housing Center. Passaic's leaders deserve tremendous credit for moving forward with this measure to protect residents from skyrocketing rents and displacement. In a city where so many working families and immigrants are struggling to stay in their homes, this ordinance is urgently needed to strengthen Passaic's economic resilience. We're grateful to Mayor Laura, Council President Scher, and the Passaic City Council for standing with their constituents and taking this practical step to ensure housing stability and prevent homelessness. And I'm not just speaking as a representative of Fair Share Housing Center, I am also a landlord. I refuse to raise my tenants' rents more than what they can afford. I put people over profits, as other landlords should do. I did not get into this game to be filthy rich. I just want to make sure that my mortgage is paid, that there's a little extra money on the side, and I'm not trying to get, like I said, filthy rich off the backs of poor people. So we thank you so much for your efforts in this matter. Thank you.
Hi everyone. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido, ¿verdad? The people united will never be divided, ¿verdad? My name is Tiburcio Walkley. I live here in Passaic for about 25 years. I have a nice family. I make my family here. They study, they work here. Councils, mayor, everything. We are here because the problem with the people is very mucho problema, very difficult for the people in Passaic. Not only Passaic, and around the country, around the world. This is why we are here. My neighbors, my family, as organized volunteer with Cosecha, New Jersey. We hear about a lot of problems with the landlords. The landlords not respect the increase. Some owners of the house increase about 400, 500, 200. That's why I stay here. No, for say take control, please. Control the rents. The people is, the things is bad. The money is no works. A lot of people's get sick, and this is why we are here. My name is Timur Sukwakle. I live here in Passaic, 6 Kuna Street. Uh, I need for help, please. Take the resolution for increase the loan the landlords. This is a big problem in the city. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Laura and members of the City Council. My name is Adrian Orosco, and although I'm wearing blue, I'm here on behalf of 32BJ SCIU. And so we represent more than 185,000 property service workers along the East Coast. This includes 15,000 New Jerseyans and 160 people who call Passaic home. Some of these folks and those that live in the surrounding communities are here on my left. First, thank you, Mayor Laura, Council President Cher, and the entire City Council for your leadership. Earlier this year, you passed the rent stabilization ordinance capping annual rent increases at 6%. That was an important and necessary first step toward creating more housing stability in this city. The proposed amendment before you tonight to reduce the cap from 6 to 3% builds on that progress and shows a deeper commitment to protecting tenants, especially working families. We also want to recognize the broader work the city has done to make housing more affordable. Under Mayor Laura's leadership, Passaic has implemented an innovative housing strategy that encourages accessory dwelling units and could become a model for other municipalities across the state. Still, the need remains urgent, with 73% of Passaic households renting and over 81% of those renters spending more than 30% of their income on housing. Affordability is out of reach for too many. In Passaic County, eviction filings have surged from 2,600 in 2021 to nearly 6,700 in 2024, displacing families who are essential to the city's functioning. Our members, janitors, superintendents, maintenance workers, and security officers are the backbone of this community. They help keep the state clean, safe, and running. But rising rents are making it harder for them to continue living in the neighborhoods they serve. Lowering the rent cap to 3% would help stabilize housing for these workers and their neighbors, reduce displacement, and strengthen the local economy. And critically, this amendment still provides a fair pathway for landlords to adjust rents, especially through the property tax pass-through provision. We respectfully urge you to vote in favor of this amendment tonight. It is a continuation of the thoughtful and balanced housing leadership this city has already shown, and it will help ensure Passaic remains a place where working families can live and thrive. Thank you again for your time and the opportunity to speak tonight.
Good evening. I'm Andre Berger, community organizer with Movimiento Cosecha, and like everyone else in this room, I'm here to request that you pass this ordinance. Through my work, I've come across countless families who are forced to choose between getting medicine for their kids, getting food, and making sure that they have enough money to pay the rent next month. And it's no secret to anyone here that there's a national cost of living crisis. And this crisis is going to get much worse over the next few years as the federal government's attack on food stamps, on Medicaid, really start to hit home, and more families are faced with those kind of tough choices. And of course, you can't solve all of the national problems, right, that are contributing to this national crisis. But what you can do right here in Passaic is to take meaningful material steps to ensure that the people here can stay in their homes, to make sure that the people here are not priced out of their homes. As the previous speakers have said, the legislation that you've already passed is a fantastic first step, but 6% is still way too high. 6% rent increases will price people out of Passaic. If you cut that in half, that makes sure that a number of families, working class families here, will be able to stay in their homes, stay in this community. And you can do that, and you can take that step today. Thank you.
Hi, Council. Hello, Mayor. My name is Dave Singer. I'm a staff attorney at Volunteer Lawyers for Justice. We're a small nonprofit that provides free legal services for people experiencing poverty throughout Essex County. I have worked in eviction defense for the last 10 years. Before being at BLJ, I worked at the Legal Aid Society out of their Bronx office. While I was there, we had to adapt to the passage of the Housing Stability and Tenant Protection Act, a major statewide legislation that massively expanded the protections of rent stabilization. I'm here to tell you that that law directly resulted in stronger community ties with stronger protections for tenants than even are contemplated here. It allowed people to maintain their ties to the community, be supported by their community. Also, they may be the support persons supporting their community. It had vacancy decontrol. It had all of the things that are in this bill and more. I understand the delicate position that you all are in, balancing the many interests that your constituents have. I'm here to say that in my experience in New York City and also in Essex County, the landlords have been able to make a reasonable rate of return, as that gentleman speaker who is a landlord mentioned. I think what I find most compelling about this ordinance is that it's grounded in the present struggles of actual people that are here filling these seats right now. And you've heard stories about rent being paid at all other expense, education, pulling kids out of school to work for extra hours at the job, cutting medications, maybe only fill them once every 2 times or 2 out of every 3 times. That causes major morbidity in your constituents. You may not think that 3% increase is much and that it might be unfair to landlords, but neither are the cost of living adjustments to supplemental security income. Just 4 times in the last 15 years would the SSI COLA have kept up with an increase over 3%. So every year, as the COLAs for SSI don't keep up, more and more of that income is going towards the rent. And that is not fair, and that is pushing people out of this city. I implore you to vote yes on this ordinance. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. My name is Danilo Keshner. I live in Jersey City with 71% renters, actually quite comparable to Passaic. I'm a portside tenant, and I've watched Jersey City fail enforce rent control for years. I'm here to provide perspective from this experience. The difference between 3% and 6% is much more than math. It's the difference between protection and exploitation. A 3% cap protects tenants even when politicians fail, even when enforcement is non-existent, even when nobody is watching. Why? Because 3% is close enough to reality, as we just heard. Most landlords will not risk the legal fight, but 6%, that's the sweet spot for exploitation. It's high enough that algorithmic pricing software like RealPage, that's being prosecuted by our Attorney General, can maximize profits while technically staying legal. It's high enough that landlords will spend money on lawyers instead of maintenance, knowing the payoff is worth it. We learned this the hard way in Jersey City. In fact, I personally learned this in our apartment. Before our rent leveling board decided that our buildings should have been under rent control from the beginning, in the over 10 years we've been living there, increases typically were around 6%.
Sir, I'm going to draw you to the ordinance, please.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 6% that you currently
You're talking about Jersey City. If you could address this ordinance that's before the council.
Okay. So what we experience there, when caps are too high, they become a target, not a limit. Software programs literally advertise the ability to optimize rents right up to the legal maximum. At 6%, you are not setting a ceiling, you are actually setting the floor. Think about it. If you can raise rent 6% every year without justification, without improvement, without even fixing the heat, the AC, the mold we heard about earlier. Why would you ever raise rent less? The algorithm won't let you. Your investors won't let you. The market won't let you. A 3% cap forces landlords to actually compete, to actually maintain their buildings, to actually treat tenants as humans, not data points in a spreadsheet. And we might hear today, later, all the money goes into building maintenance, and it's required to put up the buildings and to keep up the buildings. So maybe then the referendum should add something. How about half of the increases must go to maintenance?
I'm going to draw you to the, sir, I'm going to draw you to the ordinance itself. Please.
I'm just offering another option. Anyway, I'm at the end anyway. So what I try to say is, don't give algorithms room to compete, to operate. Don't give exploitation a legal shield. Pass the 3%. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Nicole Mariela, and I'm co-executive director of the New Jersey Coalition to End Domestic Violence. I'm here on behalf of our coalition of providers, particularly those serving the Passaic community and survivors here in your city. To put it bluntly, permanent, safe, quality housing is the greatest need survivors of domestic violence in New Jersey have. And yet the greatest barrier survivors face is the cost of rent. The cost of rent is often prohibitive for survivors in the first place, as they're rebuilding their lives often without any finances, income, or savings. So imagine finally securing that apartment and safe housing for you and your children to find the rent go up above what you're able to manage. One of our domestic violence providers serving the Passaic community here stated that the biggest barrier to financial independence and stability for survivors is rent prices. Rent is exorbitant and rising. Many of the survivors we're working with working full-time and are not able to manage the high rent each month and are forced into very difficult situations, making decisions around paying for gas, rent, food, or childcare. Rent increases force survivors to move often, which causes instability and disrupts the support networks available to them and their children. Rent stabilization helps ensure that survivors aren't priced out of neighborhoods where they have access to services, jobs, schools, and connections to their religious communities. Rent control and stabilization helps break the cycle of abuse by keeping housing costs predictable and manageable for survivors. Without it, survivors will be unable to sustain the cost of living and find themselves back with the abusive partner in an unsafe living situation or even homeless. Affordable housing is critical for survivors of domestic violence and their children. Please make sure it does not remain out of reach and pass this ordinance. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Cassandra, and I'm here as a community member and with the Housing Community Development Network of New Jersey. As a housing justice organizing specialist, the network is a statewide membership organization whose members include tenant rights organizations, builders, landlords, municipalities, community development corporation, housing counselors, and more. As a Passaic native, I'm here today to stand in solidarity with a town that raised me, sheltered me, educated me, and fed me. With New Jersey being the 7th most expensive state for renters, requiring workers to earn $39.99 an hour to afford a modest 2-bedroom, when in reality, the average Garden State worker earns $23.97. The need for this ordinance couldn't be more urgent. This ordinance represents the will of the people of Passaic, residents who are being priced out of their homes and communities. We are in the midst of a housing crisis. Rents are rising faster than wages, and families are being forced to make impossible choices between housing, food, and medical care. Rent stabilization is not just a policy, it's a lifeline. It provides predictability, stability,
and a measure of dignity for working families, seniors, and low-income residents. This ordinance protects against extreme rent hikes that lead to displacement. I want to thank Make the Road for their organizing, advocacy, Mayor Laura, and council members for your time and collaboration. I urge you to pass this ordinance and to stand by your community. Porque un pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Good evening, council members. Mayor, I'm Kevin Weller, also from Jersey City, and I will stay on topic. I do want to say that I'm very glad to see your mayor here. Our mayor never comes to our city council meetings, and I've been to 60 of them. So it's really important that you're here, and I'm really glad that you're here. I'm also the first New Jersey plaintiff in what has become the largest real estate antitrust class action in American history, targeting RealPage. This becomes important because the ordinance that you perhaps will pass tonight will protect people from what the New Jersey AG calls the algorithmic rent fixing cartel. I'm here tonight because Passaic is about to set a precedent that is important for every tenant in New Jersey. When one city shows courage with a 3% cap, others follow. When one city maintains a 6% cap that doubles rents every 12 years, it becomes a model for displacement everywhere. I've learned exactly how rent exploitation works from fighting the largest rent conspiracy this country has ever seen. And I'm here to tell you that a 6% cap is an invitation for abuse. Let me be clear. You have three choices, as far as I understand tonight. Adopt the 3% cap, table it, and compromise at CPI or 4%. For example, what Jersey City does, which averages 3%, but allows some variability, or force a referendum that, based on every precedent from Hoboken to Jersey City, you will lose by catastrophic margins. Mayor Laurel, I understand, has said that his philosophy is opposed to rent control. It could be that his opinion on that has changed since he was quoted in the Bergen record in January of 2024. But in either case, voters have a philosophy that is opposed to politicians who let families get priced out of their homes. Just ask our mayor, Stephen Fulop, who 2 months ago couldn't win a
I'm
single
going to call you to the, sir, I'm going to call you to the ordinance.
The ordinance. Okay, understood. Let's do the math. At 6%, back on the ordinance, annual increases, rents double, as I said, every 12 years.
The ordinance, if I'm not mistaken, calls for 3%. Then let's
Sorry.
address it. Then let's
But if
address
it doesn't pass, we're at 6%. And so that's what we're deciding. Are we passing 3%?
If it doesn't pass, you'll have the opportunity to join us at another meeting where it will be discussed.
Okay, I understand. But the consequences to passing this, so that people can understand and conceptualize it, if their salaries haven't doubled since 2012, they perhaps would not want this to, they would want this to pass. It's important that it passes. The landlord lobby will cry that 3%, so we're back on 3%, will destroy investment. And I would say that that's nonsense because the ordinance already has a hardship provision, 231-6, your ordinance. Capital improvement pass-throughs in section 231-5. Any landlord who genuinely can't make ends meet with this passing they already have legal remedies. So what they don't have is the right to double rents every 12 years. This isn't about good landlords versus bad landlords, which is another argument we hear when we're talking about passing an ordinance such as this one. It's about why we have laws at all. Why have speed limits if we trust all the drivers? Why have food safety rules if we trust all the restaurants? Laws exist to prevent the worst actors from poisoning the well for everyone. And if this does not pass, whatever the percent will be, 6% currently, it poisons the well at twice the rate of wages going up. Make the Road collected over 500 signatures in days, and Hoboken rent control won 73% to 27%. I hope that Passaic understands that it's no different. 73% of your city is made up of renters, and they will remember who stood with them or who chose to let rents double every 12 years. Thank you.
Hi, Passaic City Council. Hi, everyone. I'm Cameron. I'm a Clifton resident. However, I grew up on Sherman Street. My aunt lives right over there on Jefferson in those apartments. I'm here today with the Passaic and Bergen DSA to petition for a rent cap as well as vacancy control because the rate at which housing costs is rising in this area does not reflect the area's median income. Rental and mortgage markets in this region are already out of the reach of many millennials and Gen Z. How do you expect your most vulnerable populations to pay the rent without taking on 2, sometimes 3 jobs? Not only does a rent cap benefit every Passaic resident, it also has a potential to set an example for neighboring municipalities, especially my dysfunctional one. As well as I mentioned before, I grew up on Sherman Street. The progress you guys have made here in Passaic has been incredible, even seeing it before my eyes this past couple of decades. You had a lot of foresight to meet the moment where it's at, especially developing Passaic into a commuter hub, a hub of commerce. But now you're facing this rent crisis that is facing the entire nation. The rent control, having a cap on the rent increase not only protects the average resident here, but it also cuts back on the burden of care that the city will have to face if we face another homelessness crisis or other crises such as the after school care issues. I've seen all the work you guys have done. The home ownership market in this area is already $100,000 over the national median for home mortgage rates. So you guys are already, as far as buying property goes, you guys are already making a lot of money. Renting, the rental market is here for the lower income people as well as people my age who may not have the $2,000-$3,000 to rent out our own apartment on our own. Now's your opportunity to meet the moment where it's at and ensure your constituents get accessible and affordable housing.
Good evening, Mayor Laura and City Council members. My name is Isela Coyote, and I'm a resident of the City of Passaic. I'm a lifelong resident. I was born and raised for the last 27 years. Proud, person who has come from a couple of generations of Passaikians, the Mann family, and we've all been renters for a very long time. I have been living and renting my current apartment for the last 15 years. And so, I want to first start off by just saying thank you to you all for considering this ordinance tonight, and also thank you for the earlier action you took this year. I think it takes real courage and leadership to take actions like this right now, and you're showing other municipalities a model and a roadmap on how to meet this moment. But I am here on behalf of myself, my neighbors, and just a larger community of Passaic tonight to urge you to pass this ordinance and to continue to take action and to go further to address this issue, right? And to ensure that Passaic residents have access to not only affordable but also fair and safe housing, and the opportunity to not be pushed out by rising prices. We know that everywhere around the state, including here in Passaic, residents are being squeezed by skyrocketing rents. Of course, we've all heard about the utility bills, but also healthcare costs, childcare, groceries, and other basic needs. On top of all of that stress, the reality is that many of us are also dealing with terrible living conditions in these apartments, right? Anything from rat, roach, and fly infestations, broken plumbing, and leaks, and mold, myself included. Over the last few years, over the last year and some change, I've actually had to go continuously back and forth with my landlord requesting repairs to leaks, mold, broken walls, broken windows. And actually within that time frame, within the last year, my landlord actually gave me a notice for a rent increase while also not addressing these issues or addressing any of my previous communication. So, I think that behavior speaks to the lack of respect generally and dignity that's afforded to the residents by their landlords. And bottom line, Passaic residents deserve better. We deserve more I think you would all agree that this is a beautiful and thriving community. It's a gem, and I'm proud to call it home. Given the option, I'd love to call Passaic home for the rest of my life. But, if action isn't taken to address this moment that we're in, this housing crisis, and, give renters reasonable protections, I'm afraid that I won't be able to live here much longer, and I'd have to try to find housing elsewhere, which seems impossible. There doesn't seem to be anything affordable nearby and available. So, I just want to remind you all that this matter is very urgent. I think I've seen the number of homeless residents in Passaic, even over the last few years, growing, and that's extremely concerning. I want to urge you all to think about housing, as something that's a basic need, a human right, and something that should be protected, not something to be profited off of. So again, I urge you to pass this ordinance tonight, and I thank you for your consideration.
Good evening, Mayor Flores. Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Assemblyman. My name is Mon Francisco. I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Passaic, 41 years and counting. So I've been living here since the last time the Mets won the World Series, if you can believe that. I kind of find it very pathetic that a tenant has to work 4 to 5 jobs just to have a roof over his or her head. From what I can tell, this ordinance will help the tenants. If this doesn't pass, your constituents who are right here, there'll be collateral damage, and so will you at the ballot box, of course.
I'm going to keep you to the ordinance, please, sir.
Oh, I am well within the ordinance, Mr. Assemblyman.
Not when you're speaking about elections. You want to speak about elections, we can have that conversation. Right now, we want to go to the heart of the ordinance to understand it better and its effects upon people, which is why we've shown everyone tonight the latitude that I believe is desirable and beneficial.
Your constituents can't afford any more rent increases, Mr. Assemblyman, Mr. Mayor. They can't afford it anymore. They can't do it. Please pass this ordinance. Please, please do it. I don't know what else to say to you, Mr. Assemblyman, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Please, I love Passaic. I've lived here all my life. I've earned my college degrees while living here. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of this city. Right now, this is in the ugly. Please pass the ordinance. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.
Good evening, members of the City Council, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate you all giving us the opportunity to be able to share remarks related to the ordinance. I take it you all don't have many children making comments, usually, because in the name of inclusion, if you will, I'm going to use this chair. My daughter thought it was appropriate to share some remarks. My name is Dr. Enrique Noguera. This is Eliana Noguera.
Hello, my name is Eliana Noguera. I'm going to 5th grade. I attended Passaic Gifted and Talented Academy. Seeing my mom and the Passaic community here today is so inspirational. Now on topic. These families and my fellow community members are suffering from tremendous amounts of rent that they have to pay landlords. The crucial part is that not all people are upper class. The last thing I will say is that my friends are a part of this community, and sometimes I get scared that they might have to go to another town to live. Please support the 3% rent cap.
Buenas noches a todos.
Good evening to all.
Bueno, yo estoy aquí porque soy madre soltera con dos niños especiales.
I'm here because I am a single mother to 2 children with special needs.
En el 2018 yo pagaba 1,050 de renta.
In 2018, I paid $1,050 in rent.
Me subieron $700. Yo vine a pedir ayuda a City Hall. Me dijeron que no me podían ayudar porque no hay control de renta.
It was increased by $700. I came here to City Hall for support and was told they couldn't help me because there was no rent control.
Sí, en Patterson hay control de renta, en Passaic no.
In Patterson, there is rent control, not in Passaic.
Sí, y entonces ahorita yo estoy pagando 1,750 y me dijo el dueño, como yo no lo quiere componer el apartamento.
Right now, I'm paying $1,750. The landlord does not want to repair the apartment.
Vivo en el primer piso y no me da el basement y yo pago luz del basement. Hace 19 años que vivo allí.
I live on the first floor and I'm paying the utility bills in the basement. I'm not allowed access to it in the 19 years that I've been there.
Me dijo que me fuera.
He told me to leave.
Yo he buscado renta y de 3,000 para arriba son las rentas muy caras para una madre soltera.
I've searched and rents are $3,000 and up, which is too high for a single mother.
Y yo me gustaría que hubiera un control de renta. Yo lo he venido a buscar a usted para ver si me puede ayudar, pero no, nadie me puede ayudar.
I am looking for rent control. I've come here for your help, but you haven't been able to help me.
Mi hermano compró una casa hace 3 años y paga 3,000 por 2 casas.
My brother bought a house 2 years ago and pays $3,000 for 2 homes
El mortgage.
in mortgage.
Entonces, ¿cómo es posible que una casa con 2 de recámaras cuesta $3,000 pagar una renta?
So how is it that one home is $3,000 for rent?
Yo siempre lo he dicho, Nueva Jersey es para los ricos, no para los pobres.
I've always said it that New Jersey is for rich people, not for the poor.
Y me gustaría mucho que hicieran algo para el control de renta, señor alcalde.
I would like it a lot if you could do something for rent control, Mr. Mayor.
Mucho abuso.
There's a lot of abuse.
Es todo lo que quería decir. Muchas gracias.
It's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Cassandra Lazara, Little Falls. I'm here tonight because I spoke with Naida yesterday, and she told me about this ordinance being on the agenda tonight. I know that this mayor and council, I know your hearts because I know each of you. And I know that anything you do is in the best interest of your constituents, all these people here today. They are here to say, hey, we appreciate what you're doing for us, and we want to work with you to make this a reality. Now, we already know the reality of affordable housing. It's tough. It's tough. And this mayor has made sure that any new buildings going up or opening up, that 20% of those apartments are affordable housing. This mayor and council work tirelessly for this town. I see it all the time. So I just want to say this. I know that ordinance 231-23 would not be on this agenda if it was not being considered to be passed. So everyone who's here is talking about how unaffordable it is. You have a mayor and council right here that is going to work hard for you and make sure that you stay in the city of Passaic and that it will always be your home. So I thank you, Mayor. I know, again, I know your heart. I know you'll do anything you can to help the people that are here with us today. So thank you.
For those of us who might not be aware, the lady who just addressed us is the Passaic County Commissioner, Commissioner Lazara. We thank you for being here, ma'am, and appreciate your taking the time out of your very busy schedule.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council team. My name is Veronica Ortiz, born and raised in Passaic. I see a lot of people addressing this issue, and I want to address it as well. Please consider the 3%. I have a 92-year-old grandmother living in the same apartment for over 40 years, and this has been a constant issue. Imagine the elderly that cannot stand here to come and address this issue. Let's remember that we are a community and we stand in one. Please, let's consider this as my grandmother can't stand here and address her concerns. Thank you.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Carlos Castañeda
Good evening, my name is Carlos Castañeda,
y esta noche quería recordarles a todos los que están enfrente mío,
and tonight I want to remind everyone that's in front of me,
si es que se han olvidado o no se han dado cuenta,
in case you have forgotten or have not noticed.
en el momento político en que nos encontramos, donde toda una comunidad está siendo perseguida y criminalizada,
In the current political climate where the community is being persecuted,
lo mínimo que la ciudad de Passaic pudiese hacer es aliviar un poco la carga a estas familias trabajadoras.
the minimum that the city of Passaic could do is to help alleviate this load on these families.
Asumo que algunos de ustedes son demócratas.
I assume some of you are Democrats.
Nos han dicho siempre que los demócratas son nuestros aliados y nuestros amigos.
We've always been told that Democrats are our allies and our friends.
Pues esta noche, I'm going
to call the gentleman to the ordinance.
I'm going there. If you're going to let me speak,
No,
I'm
no,
going
no,
to get
no,
there.
no. Excuse me, sir. I don't need you getting there. I need you to be on the ordinance.
This is my time, Mr. Gary.
No, sir. This is a council meeting where everyone is
I'm-
trying to
I'm
be
getting
respected.
to the point.
I
I'm giving a
ask you,
context
deal
of
with the
what I'm
point.
going to say.
To the
If you let
ordinance.
me speak, I could finish in 1 minute.
If you're on the ordinance, you can have as much time as you would like.
I am speaking on the ordinance. I'm giving
Very-
context on the point.
Very good, sir. Then we
All
look
right,
forward to your
thank you. I'll
comments.
continue speaking. Entonces, si realmente son nuestros amigos y nuestros aliados, esta noche es tiempo de que ustedes muestren el liderazgo de la ciudad de Passaic
If
y
you are-
voten
if
a
you-
favor. Sorry, go
If you are really our friends and our allies, tonight is the time for you to show that you are on our side
y que están del lado de las familias trabajadoras y no de las grandes corporaciones que se lucran de nuestro infortunio.
and
Muchas
that, you're,
gracias.
and that you're here for the working families and not for the corporations. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Sonja Kirschner. I came to New Jersey on an international assignment for a large chemical company 12 years ago from Germany, a country where rent control is actually the standard and where it does not determine your status if you rent or own, actually maybe because rent control laws are in place there. So I want to take you back to the time about 12 years, a little longer ago, when I came here. Maybe someone was paying here in Passaic $850 for a 1-bedroom, maybe $1,500 for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Some of you here might still remember those rents, right? Fast forward to today, under a 6% cap, that 850 apartment is now 1,700. That 1,500 place is now 3,000. Same apartment, same neighborhood, same leaky faucet that may have never been fixed under the 6% cap. How many of you could afford your home if your rent had doubled? Here, how many could afford your home if your rent had doubled? How many teachers, firefighters, and nurses sitting here tonight would have been forced out of Passaic? Stand up if you think your salary doubled since 2012. Whose salary doubled here since 2012? Nobody? That's what I thought. Now, let's rewind and do that same journey with a 3% cap. That 850 apartment would be about 1,100 today. That 1,500 place would be around 1,950. Still an increase. Landlords would still make a lot of money, but families aren't destroyed. Here is the brutal truth. Under 6%, your rent doubles every 12 years. Under 3%, it takes 24 years. That's not just a number, that's the difference between your kids finishing school here or being displaced in another district. It's the difference between building a life and constantly running from rent increases. You can stand up tonight and vote for the 3%. You can stand up in November for the referendum. You can sit down now and watch your community get priced out, family by family, until Passaic becomes a place where only the wealthy can afford to live. We experienced that in Jersey City. I have seen families leave, family after family, school after school, children after children. The math is very simple. It's your choice, but remember, every year you wait, that 6% compounds. The clock is ticking.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Laura Saloma.
Repita su nombre.
Laura Saloma.
Good evening, my name is Laura Sanoma.
Yo os quería comentar que yo tenía con una persona que me estaba alquilando el apartamento.
I wanted to, perdón, repita.
Lo que pasa que la persona que me estaba rentando el apartamento
The person that was renting an apartment to me
me vendió la casa.
sold the home.
Eso lo vendieron en noviembre y en diciembre la nueva persona, la nueva dueña, me dijo que me iba a subir $500 de renta.
It was sold in November, and in December, the new homeowner told me they were going to increase the rent.
Solo fue en diciembre, para enero ya se subió la renta de los $500.
So from December to January, the rent increased $500.
Y yo siento que fue demasiado, porque yo soy mamá con 3 hijas.
And I thought that was too much because I'm a mom with 3 daughters.
Ahora ya pago $2,300 de renta.
Now I pay $2,300 in rent.
Y para 2 personas pagar eso es demasiado.
For 2 people to pay that, it's too much.
Y yo en verdad quisiera que se hiciera algo porque la verdad que las rentas están muy altas y los apartamentos están todos dañados.
I would
no
like for
arreglan.
someone to do something because rents are too high and the apartments are still unrepaired.
Para las rentas sí están puntuales, pero para los arreglos no. Entonces, yo quisiera que se hiciera algo para que nos ayuden.
For rent, they're punctual, but for the repairs, they're not. So we really wish that something could be done to help us.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. There's many members of the community here tonight who are in pain for having to pay so much of their income on rent. I'm here tonight as a small, not even a landlord. I own a few houses in Passaic. I own these houses to give my children a better future. I work paycheck to paycheck. I have mortgages to pay every single month. I have a tenant here tonight. I have multiple tenants from the Mexican community, but I have one here tonight. She owes me, I don't want to embarrass her, but she owes me $5,500 in arrears in past due rent. I didn't throw her out because I know her, because I know she's working hard. She has a family. She's trying to get a job. Her husband has a job. And I'm a respectful landlord of a 2-family house. My taxes are $16,000. On the second floor, my tenant who's here tonight, her sister-in-law lives on the second floor. She's a Section 8 tenant. I collect $1,880 from her sister-in-law. Section 8 still owes me rent from January through June, which they said they sent to me. I have not received it yet. I have not thrown her out because they're upstanding people, and she worked hard to get onto Section 8, and I'm hoping that the money will come through soon. My tenants have a backyard to enjoy. They have a driveway to park their cars. They have a basement to use for laundry. I don't charge them for any of those. Each of those units, I collect $2,100 from my tenant who's here tonight. Her name is Jennifer. And I collect $1,880 from her sister-in-law, and my taxes are $16,000. $16,000 divided by 2 is $8,000 I have to pay to the city of Passaic every year for each of those rental units. Most of the people here tonight live in apartment buildings. I like to call them concrete and steel cages. There are no parks in the backyard. There are no driveways. If there is parking underneath, you have to pay for it, and there's hardly any laundry. They have to take their laundry across town and sit at night after a long day laundering their clothing.
Sir, I'm going to draw you to the ordinance, please.
I'm asking for a carve-out. Whatever the city council decides tonight, I'm asking for a carve-out. Most of the people here tonight live in buildings. I'll give an example. King Arthur on Pennington Avenue is a 60, they pay $120,000 in taxes to this city. That's a lot of money. But they have 60 units. That's $2,000. They collect in 1 month's rent, they cover the taxes that unit costs. It takes me 4 months to collect enough rent to pay for the taxes that I have to incur. Riverview Apartments on River Avenue and Westervelt. They pay $510,000 to the city of Passaic. You think that they're supporting the whole city, but they have 200 units. Each of those units in 1 month, they collect enough money to cover your taxes, while I have to wait 4 months. When they have to do a roof repair, they have to pay $120,000 in roofing. $120,000, if you divide by 60 units, that's $2,000 a unit. When I have to replace my roof, when Jennifer had a leak when I bought the house, and I had to cover my roof for $25,000, I have to divide that by 2. That's $12,500 per unit to cover my roof. You want to make a 3% rent control on houses like mine? The problem in Passaic might be some bad landlords, but if you want to take and make a one-size approach to the problem, I don't think that's fair. There are landlords like me who care about our tenants, who our tenants respect. We come to collect our rent personally. When there's an issue at night, they call us on our cell phones to come down, and we do the repairs ourselves in the middle of the night, or we get people in the middle of the night to come down. There's no front office, there's no secretaries. And I'm asking you to realize that the expenses that we incur for 2 units or 3 units are 10 times or between 5 and 10 times the cost for repairs, maintenance, taxes that buildings have to incur. There are problems with the rent in Passaic. There's a lot of the problems are 200% increases, 250% increases. I think the city council would be smart. They introduced an 8% rent control. They lowered it to 6%. Let's see what happens. What is the need to push now to 3%? We know what Patterson looks like. I don't think anybody here wants to live in Patterson because Patterson has 3%. If you want to go there, it's open. Nobody wants to live in Patterson. Nobody wants to live in Newark. Let's see what 6% does for the city. Let's give it some time. Let's see what's happening. Nobody should have their rents raised by 200%. That's crazy. Nobody should have problems with roaches and plaster falling on them and mold. But the city has to have a system no matter what the rent is. They have to have a system to make sure that people's rental units are inhabitable. Why should you get more tickets for parking in the city while landlords who don't care of their tenants...
I need you on the ordinance, please.
While landlords who don't take care of their tenants get a freebie. That's not okay. Let the city figure out a system. But pushing it after a few months from 8% to 6% to 3%...
I need the ordinance, sir. I need you on the ordinance.
Thank you. I think we're playing with a big hot potato that I think the city council should really wait and see what happens with the 6% that I think might very do well for the city. Of course, there are bad landlords, and of course, the new development that in the city where people come in and they are able to make prices at astronomical amounts because it's a brand new apartment, of course, that creates pressure on the rest of the market. So I'm not sure how that's going to be taken care of. But I don't think the problem is all landlords are a problem. Thank you.
Buenas noches, ¿me puede traducir, por favor? Buenas noches, veo estamos todos frustrados, ¿verdad? ¿Me puede traducir?
¿Puede decir su nombre, por favor?
Si nos notamos, estamos casi todos frustrados.
If you notice, we are all frustrated.
Excuse me, just
Porque-
a moment, please. Excuse me, if you'd like to take your conversations outside, that would be very helpful.
Yo vivo aquí, vivía en Passaic desde el 89.
I lived in Passaic since 1989.
Desafortunadamente, hace 2 años tuve que irme de Passaic
Unfortunately, 2 years ago, I had to leave Passaic
porque la casa donde vivía pegó fuego.
because the house where I lived caught fire.
Pedí ayuda al City Hall, me dieron unas hojitas, vete a Patterson, fui a Patterson, me dieron otras hojitas y no recibí ayuda, no pude recibir ayuda.
I came to City Hall, I was given some sheets of paper, I was told to go to Patterson, there I got some more sheets of paper, and basically I didn't get help.
Desafortunadamente no tenía seguro de vivienda, que era lo que ahora ya sabe uno, ¿verdad?
Unfortunately, I didn't have renter's insurance, which it's unfortunate, I know now.
Al pasar esto, buscaba apartamento y me pedía el realtor. Yo quiero saber qué poder tiene el realtor que le cobra $3,000, $2,500, $3,500 solo para ellos y es cash. Quiero saber qué es eso.
I want to know why realtors are able to charge $3,000, $2,500, $3,500 on a fee for themselves. What is that?
Nadie sabe eso, ¿ok?
Nobody knows that, okay?
Si te pide 3,000, lo que te cuesta la renta son 2,800.
If they
El
ask you
realtor
for
se lleva 2,800.
If they ask you for $3,000, the realtor takes $2,800
Cash. Más el seguro de la renta de un mes y medio.
plus the rent of a month and a half.
Estamos hablando cerca de $10,000 para rentar un apartamento.
So we're talking about $10,000 to rent an apartment.
Eso fue lo que me pasó y creo que a muchos les pasa eso. ¿Quién ha rentado y lo primero que le dice el realtor, son 2,500 para mí, cash?
And that
¿Alguien
is,
le ha pasado eso?
that is what happened to me, and I ask if that's what's happening to others. You go to a realtor and they have a fee that goes straight to them.
Bueno, yo pienso, tengo la seguridad que el día que Passaic controle la renta, yo regresaré a Passaic.
I have the security that the day that Passaic passes rent control, I will return to Passaic.
Porque yo viví en Passaic, vengo todos los días a Passaic, mi familia viene a hacer compras a Passaic y queremos a Passaic.
Because I lived in Passaic, my family is here in Passaic, and we want to be here in Passaic.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
See no one?
Hi, good evening to all. My name is Jennifer, and I would like you to transfer in Spanish for me for the Spanish community, Mexican community. You can? All right, so I'll do it in Spanish then. So, hi, Daniel. So, mi nombre es Jennifer Suárez. Yo fui nacida y crecida aquí en Passaic. Yo soy mamá soltera. Yeah.
My name is Jennifer Suarez. I was born here in Passaic.
And soy mamá soltera. Fui violencia doméstica también.
I'm a single mother and I was a victim of domestic violence as well.
Y cuando estaba yo rentando, yo vivo en Passaic Park y siempre he estado ahí viviendo en Passaic Park y cuando vivía yo ahí pagaba yo $1,500 con luz y calefacción y todo incluido.
I've lived in Passaic Park, and when I lived there, I paid $1,500, and that included light and utilities as well.
Luego llegó Joseph aquí, el señor aquí que dice que es el mejor, Joseph, y me quiso subir la renta como de 1,400 a 1,800 a 1,900. Y me estaba exigiendo lease.
And Mr. Joseph, who came here and is claiming to be a great landlord, increased the rent from $1,400 to $1,800 to $1,900.
Pero como yo no me dejo y me sé mis derechos y soy una peleonera, que él sabe que yo me le pongo a él, que no me dejo.
But because I don't allow that, and I'm a fighter, and I know my rights, and I don't allow that,
Y el apartamento no estaba en las mejores condiciones.
the apartment was not in the best conditions.
Oh, y soy mamá de 7 niños.
And I am the mother to 7 children.
Y Mr. Daniel siempre ha sabido que he buscado trabajo. He trabajado con la comunidad judía.
Mr. Daniel knows that I've always looked for
My
employment.
ex-husband used to work with you. You
And
should
I've
know.
worked with the Jewish community.
Y el dueño también de esa casa era judío y nunca quiso arreglar. Incluso cuando llegó Joseph, mi apartamento, mi baby, Jeremías, que tiene 2 años, salió con alto de plomo.
And in addition, when the other landlord was Jewish as well, but when Joseph came in, my child was born with high levels of lead.
Y claro, no es su culpa de este dueño, es culpa del otro porque no mantenían el mantenimiento.
And of course, it was not this landlord's fault. It was the other landlord's fault because he did not keep up with the maintenance.
Y gracias a Dios que soy nacida aquí, puede tener los recursos para que le arreglaran el apartamento a Joseph gratis por mi hijo que salió con plomo.
And thank God I was born here and I was able to help because my child had high lead. We were able to get free help in addressing the problem.
No, we got him free help to fix his house and apartment.
Oh, we got him free. Oh, you said.
Yeah, let me just specify that. Windows and the whole apartment, also Joseph's. Don't let me get at you right now here because. So we moved to then. He provided us. The state said that they were going to provide us. I'm sorry. El Estado me dijo que me iba a proveer el hotel para que yo me fuera con mis hijos para el plomo y todo eso.
The state said
Y
that
no
they
me
were
lo hicieron y hubo un gran problema ahí.
The state said that they were going to cover the hotel
I
stay.
need
So
you, ma'am, this is very,
All right, but it's just to the point that where I'm
I
getting,
need you
that
at the
he's
point.
specifying that he's a great landlord. Yes, he's a good landlord, but not a great landlord. Okay, so I moved to 29, I moved to a great.
I know whether he's a great landlord or
right,
otherwise, I
but
need you on the ordinance,
Just
please.
listen to me, okay? I know what you're saying. Yes, Joseph. Y me mudé a otra casa que también tiene plomo,
I moved to another house that also has
que
lead.
es de él también.
That's his as well.
Y ahora me tengo que salir de ahí y él le van a arreglar ese apartamento otra vez por mis hijos.
And now I'm going to have to leave again and they're going to fix that apartment as well, thanks to my kids.
Okay, yo tengo una yarda, sí, tengo un drive y todo eso, pero ¿a qué costo me está costando? Por mis hijos, ¿verdad?
I have a yard, yes, and a driveway and everything, but what's the cost? My children, right?
Entonces, sí, él me espera por la renta y todo, pero también no es justo que uno le suba la renta tanto cuando no están arreglando los apartamentos.
And yes, he does wait for the rent and everything, but it's unjust that they keep increasing the rent like this.
Y también que él dice que yo le debo renta, yo le debí renta, sí, pero gracias a Dios, otra vez, soy nacida aquí y me la pudieron pagar lo que le debían a él. So, no es que no me fui sin pagar la renta.
And yes, I owed rent, but I was... Repita, por favor.
Oh, que le pagó, Social Service le pagó la
I'm
renta.
going to ask for the last
All
time.
right, so, no, I don't agree on the 3%. I mean, I agree on the 3%, I'm sorry. Yeah, so, that's mine.
Hello. Hello, hi, good afternoon. My name is Maria. Thank you. I'm sorry. Hello? Okay, hi, good afternoon. My name is Maria. Nice to meet you. Mayor, council. I am a 23-year-old lady. My mother is over there present. I am the second person who's helping her pay the $2,300 for the rent. I am very emotional right now, and it's insane, sorry. I think the rent that we're paying is too much. Not so long ago, my living room was flooded. 1 to 2 inches of rain in the second floor. My couches, my son's toys, they were damaged. I don't know how we had a flooding in the living room, in my sister's room, and in my mother's room. I contacted my landlord, showed him evidence that we had to get this fixed. What did he tell me? Oh, we'll go next week. We'll go this week. The week arrived, no one showed up to fix anything. He told me, cover everything up, plastic bags, and you'll be good. What did I do? I had to throw my son's toys and some furniture. I'm scared. My mother's scared. She told me, let's pay rent. I told her no. But she's one of the persons that she's terrified, as many as them. I was cleaning my room and I found mold in the windows. Not just my window, ceilings, living room once again. I texted my landlord, hey, look what I found. Did you know what he told me? He said, I'm gonna send someone over. Later that day, someone comes and buys white spray to paint over the mold. And he says, leave it, it's fine. I am not safe.
Ma'am, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment.
Of
if-
course.
If you'll allow me. Your comments are compelling. They're disturbing, and they're making me nauseous, the way you've been treated. And I must tell you, you're not the first person tonight who has made me nauseous. But the ordinance before us deals with many, many things. Part of any ordinance is going to deal with the landlord fulfilling his or her responsibilities to the tenant. That is the issue, right? The issue, I need you to speak to the issue in terms of the amount, the size, the percentage of rent increase, et cetera. I appreciate, and we all appreciate, you're coming here tonight.
Of course.
We can tell that you're not a public speaker.
Thank you. I'm not.
Although you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
But I
However,
need you on the ordinance, please.
of course, thank you so much for that. Like my mother mentioned, the landlord sold the house, they increased the rent. They did not fix anything, they have not fixed anything, and water continues to leak in my house. 23,000 is too much for a building or a house, an apartment. That's not stable for someone to live in. I just want you guys to reconsider that, and hopefully you guys have the power to do something, just like we are. Thank you for hearing me out.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
Seeing no more hands, I move to close. We have a hand.
Second.
Good evening, council. My name is Brendan. I'm a lifelong resident of New Jersey, and I'm here to talk about the 3% rent stabilization ordinance before you tonight, and what the delay in passing this will actually cost the community of Passaic. An economic analysis shows that this 3% cap would return $4 million in money that's leaving the tenants, your citizens, and out of the city and being pushed elsewhere, out of the economy, out of everything, out of the restaurants, out of the businesses that support the city, and isn't being reflected by the local taxes. This delay is going to cost, every month you just postpone this decision, that's $333,000 leaving the community, going elsewhere, going to pass other laws, going into the landlords, some of which are now large mega corporations, not man who's grown up here who grew up here and wants to make a living for his kids. Sorry, lost my place. The ordinance before you tonight is carefully crafted. It maintains all the existing hardship provisions of the ordinance passed earlier this year at 6%. You have three options tonight. You can pass it tonight, reject it, and force an expensive referendum that's going to divide your community, or table it and watch another $330,000 per month flow out of Passaic. Money that could be going to support businesses, help improve the city. The petition supporting this ordinance was gathered way over 500 signatures in such a short period of time because people are desperate. They need relief. They're coming to you hoping to get the relief that they need. Every day of delay means more displacement, more economic drain, and more families forced to choose between rent, groceries, and drugs. Pharmaceuticals, I mean, sorry. This ordinance stops that cycle tonight. The question isn't whether you support tenants or landlords, it's whether you support Passaic's economy or you want to keep bleeding Passaic's residents. Thank you very much.
Seeing no hands, I move to close the public portion.
Second.
I'll take a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, just a moment, please.
Councilman Love.
Okay. Is there a motion, please, to close public hearing?
We did that. No,
We did that.
we did that.
Close.
I'm sorry?
We're
closed?
on the ordinance. We're on the ordinance.
On the ordinance.
Move.
Second.
Motion and second. This ordinance, this proposed ordinance we've been discussing tonight, and let me thank everyone for being here, for taking the time to be here tonight. Let me also apologize if I was too quick with anyone. I did not mean to be, but this is a heavy responsibility, one which one necessarily takes very heavily. There's been discussion back and forth for quite a while on this ordinance, and the time invested by Make the Right and other organizations, which frankly I happen to be personally involved with myself. The council's discussion on the matter and the mayor have led us to a decision on our part, and there's a lot of agreement, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, with Make the Road. But the council has another proposed version in response to this initiative petition listed that we've been discussing. So essentially what I'd like to do is to call for a vote with the understanding that there's been agreement by the city and Make the Road, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that there will be a few days, a few weeks, not more than a few, for this bill to be finalized. So what you're going to hear is a rejection by the council of the proposal and the understanding and the commitment of this city council, and Mayor, if I may speak on your name as well, on behalf of the mayor and his administration and the city council, that we will be back to discuss and hopefully finalize something which is positive and beneficial for all concerned. That being the case, is there a maker of the bill, please? Well, this is a motion to deny, I believe?
Yes. For two.
Wait.
You denied the second?
Why are we denying?
We're denying so that we can go in favor of 44, as has been discussed with the parties involved. So there's a motion to
Reject.
reject. Yes?
Yes, item 2.
Okay. Motion to reject.
Councilman Monk, Councilman Monk,
Yes. Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello, yes, Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. The motion is denied, which brings us now to 44, an amendment, an ordinance by amending section 231-23, rent stabilization of 2025 of chapter 231, rent control of the City of Passaic Code to reduce maximum allowable rental increases. We have copies available for you if you would like to review the ordinance, which is now going before the council and which I believe will pass. It is a first reading, which means by law, there must be a second reading, at which time everyone here, as well as friends, neighbors, would like to join as well, so that we get the proper information and not rumors of information that may or may not be valid and true. So you're going to hear a vote called by myself, on behalf of my colleagues and the mayor, to accept the ordinance for set down on September 5th. Madam Clerk? September
2nd.
September 2nd.
Council President,
Councilman,
I think it would be good to mention that this is with the 3% for those that's out there.
Yes.
We're passing it out.
Yeah, I
so
know
there'll
they're
be a-
passing it out, but we should verbally say that this is with the 3% cap.
That's certainly appreciative. Thank you, Councilman. So the vote you're going to hear is going to be to set the ordinance down for second and final reading at our meeting of September the 2nd. Stay in touch with the city clerk's office. If there's any change to that for whatever reason, she will be able to communicate that to you. That being the case, on number 44, please, is there a motion, please, to accept, to set down for second and final reading at our meeting of September the 2nd?
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please, on 44.
Councilman Monk,
Yeah, just for clarity, this is a vote just to take it to second reading and open for discussion in the second meeting. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, the motion is passed. At this time, the council will be taking an approximately 10-minute break. We invite you to join us on the rest of the meeting, including communications, resolutions, etc., And again, we thank you for your patience and your kindness to be with us tonight. This meeting is in recess for 10 minutes. Is there a motion, please, to reconvene?
So moved.
Motion and second, roll call, please, to reconvene.
Sorry.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia, Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. We're up to communications, please, Roman numeral 8, items 3 through 9. Are there any questions with items 3 through 9, please? Seeing no lights, this time is in motion, please, to accept 3 through 9.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilman Monk, Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia, Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. We are up to all matters considered routine in nature, items 10 through 17. Are there any questions, please, on 10 through 17? No lights at this time. Motion, please, to accept 10 through 17.
Move.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please, on 10 through 17.
Councilman Monk, Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia, Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. On 18, special vote. Is there a maker of the motion on 18?
Move.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second on 18.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia, Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Abstain.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And it passes. Number 9, Roman numeral 9, resolutions. 19 is a closed executive session. Susie, do we need closed? Thank you. Thank you for your help this evening. Mr. Hernandez? The mayor stepped out. He'll be back momentarily, I'm sure. Members of the council? Very good. If we could please go into resolutions. We're talking about going from 19 through 41.
29.
20,
Push on 28.
I'm sorry, ma'am, where are we?
number 20,
Sorry.
We're on resolutions,
we're doing number 20.
20 through
41,
41. Are there any questions on 20 through 41?
No.
On 29, Councilman?
Just these are in regards to the parking garage?
It's the final change orders for the parking garage, including a $60,000 credit.
How did we do on the parking garage in terms of cost? Did it come in what we thought? Was it significantly?
Yeah, so we had set aside $14 million and it came in at $13,662,874.86. That additional funding was used to purchase charging stations that were not part of the original contract and certain services that, for example, the cameras that are not for the parking spaces, but the security for the rest of the building, the staircases. So the difference, whatever's left over that $14 million is going to those items. So ultimately, the deck, when it's all said and done, is $14 million, which is exactly on point what we accounted for, even with the change orders. So it's very unique that we have a project of that size that hit the number that we anticipated.
Excellent work. I know I speak for all of my colleagues. Excellent work. When do we expect Mr. Hernandez to have a grand opening?
So as the mayor discussed at his opening update, we hope that we have the grand opening sometime next week. So we're very excited about that.
Parking deck?
Yes.
We're looking at the second.
If we could give members of the, if we could give members of the council as much notice as possible so that they obviously can participate in the opening, it would be great.
Number 32 is also associated with that. Anything
Number 32, Councilman?
is also.
Yeah, so 32, we went out to bid twice for the rental space. We got a successful bidder that hopes to open up a restaurant in that location, and that's item number 32.
Restaurant bar.
Restaurant bar.
Right.
After tonight's meeting, the bar sounds very attractive.
I don't even drink, and you're right.
We could have went across the street, walked across.
I think I could have used one.
Are there any other questions, please? Seeing no lights at this time, is there a motion, please, to accept items 20 through 41?
Move it.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. I forgot, and thank you all for reminding me. We're on Roman numeral 6, please, hearing of citizens. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and JSA 10:4-1 of SEC, the council opens every public meeting for comments of the public. However, in accordance with JSA 10:4-12, nothing in this act shall be construed to limit the discretion of a public body to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation in any meeting. Therefore, please be advised that the council will not entertain any comments from persons who communicate obscene material, make statements which are considered bias, intimidation, in which a person intends to intimidate any individual or group because of race, color, religion, gender, handicap, sexual orientation, or ethnicity, or makes comments intending to harass or speak any offensive language. The person who makes these comments will relinquish their allotted 5 minutes for public discussion. Is there anyone who would like to address the council at this time? Thank you for your patience.
No problem. ¿Me puede traducir?
Yes.
Mi nombre es Itamar Román y soy residente de Passaic por 39 años.
My name is Isela Coyote, and I've been a resident of Passaic for ¿cuántos años?
39.
39 years.
Como hermana de dos hermanos con necesidades especiales,
I have two siblings with special needs.
de 43 y 47 años,
They are 43 and 47 years old,
que todavía viven en Passaic.
and they still live in the city of Passaic.
Quiero darle mi agradecimiento al alcalde Lora,
I want to give my appreciation to Mayor Laura,
al Departamento de Bomberos y Policía
the Department of Firefighters and Police,
y a todas las personas involucradas
and all of the people involved
en el apoyo e inclusión de familias
in the support of the inclusion of families
con niños de necesidades especiales.
with children with special needs.
Es importante
It is important
que las familias de niños y adultos
that the families of children and adults
con necesidades especiales
with special needs
no solo sean vistas
aren't just seen
y escuchadas,
and heard,
sino que sean realmente incluidas
but they are in reality included
y valoradas
and valued
como parte de nuestra comunidad en Passaic.
as a part of our community here in Passaic.
I decided to say this in Spanish because I wanted to be heard by both my community as well as everyone else here. I really appreciate it. I'm trying not to get emotional because as the sister of two brothers, that this means a lot to me, and I'm hoping that families from now on can benefit from something like this. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so very much. Anyone else like to address the council at this time?
Seeing no hands, I'm going to close the public portion.
Motion and second, roll call, please, to close.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. We're up to the payment of bills, Roman numeral 11.
No,
No, I'm sorry, Council President.
We're up to ordinances for introduction and first reading. Okay, item 1042, a proposed ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by New Jersey license plate number. Is there a motion, please, to set down for second and final reading in our meeting of September the 2nd? Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. We're up to number 43, please. A proposed ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons. Is there a motion, please, to set down for second and final reading
So
at our
moved.
meeting of September the 2nd?
Move it.
Second.
Motion and second, thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Number 44, please, the proposed ordinance
Mayor,
amending sec,
We took care of that.
we did
Payment
that
of
one.
bills.
Okay, so we're up to administrator's report.
Payment of bills.
Payment of bill.
Payment of bills.
Yes, sir.
I'll get this right sometime. Payment of, any questions on the bills? No questions on the bills. Is there a motion, please, to accept the bills?
So moved.
Motion and second. Roll call, please, on the bills.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Administrator's report.
None at this time, sir.
Very good. Thank you so
You
very
should have
much,
seen his
Mr. Mayor.
face. He's like, please don't say anything.
I will tell you, it is 20 to 10. Is that right? I think we did an excellent job.
Yes.
Some of us were planning to be here quite late. All right, we are up to the mayor's report. Mr. Mayor, sir.
No report.
Okay. Members of the council, any comments? Did a good job, all of us together, I think. All of us together.
Teamwork.
Is there a motion, please, to adjourn? Motion and second, roll call to adjourn.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
A special thank you to Susie and to Matthew. Thank you for all your efforts.
And to our translator.
Uh,
Council President, I think, did you volunteer to be the permanent? I'm not sure, Council President, you may want to consider that.
All I know is her office is still next to mine, and it's one how. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Meeting is adjourned.
Good job.